So I have this interesting conversation here that is a little worrying. I'll leave the original link in the description, but let's dive in.
You want to know why I hate him?
Yeah, I'm still curious to hear it.
Because people like you seem to like him.
Are you out of your mind? Do you know people like me?
No, I like
people like me escape the bullshit of people like you that bought into the games being played against guys like him.
I think you're what makes this country great, and I can't figure out why someone as smart as you.
Do you want me to explain to you why?
It's
not. It's not. But wait a minute. You make it seem like this is a Trump podcast.
No, it's not. But like, I don't understand. Forgive me.
Yeah.
The way I look at him is binary. I can't look at him and see good things.
I can look at Obama and see good things. I can look at Biden and see good things. I can look at Bill Clinton and see good things.
Then you're better than I am.
It's not about being better than you are, buddy. It's not about that. I love America. And I don't look at people from the standpoint. I've sit down with mobsters, gangsters. I've sit down with, communists. I love talking to communists because it's a great conversation for me. I don't sit there and say, I hate this guy. See, the challenge with your side, because you sound like a broken record right now, as if it's CNN or MSNBC. Do you know what happened to their ratings when the world found out they were full of shit with Russia? Go look at their ratings. Go look at their ratings the week after the world found out this entire dossier was funded by a lady named Hillary Clinton.
And they're still in the tank.
What happened to the ratings afterwards? You know why? Because Americans were sitting there saying, we believed you. Schiff, we believed you guys. Cuomo, we believed you. Lamont, we believed you. Cooper, we believed you. And you fooled us. And now Brian Williams, who's a guy that interviewed you, says what? I'm done with this. I'm worried because of what's going on to America today. And he's stepping away. So for me, when it comes down to guys that come out and say things like that about Trump and Russia, oh my gosh, tell me one president. First of all, let's put the truth out there. Has this been a guy that his entire life has been a master troll and a bully?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't disagree. Has this been a guy that came from the streets of New York where negotiations are all hardcore and you got to go against other guys that are also hardcore because New York's DNA is like you are? This is what I like. Is that how New York is?
Yes.
This is New York's DNA. America's not Matt Zeller.
No.
America's not Chris Christie.
No.
America's not Hillary Clinton nor Trump. America's not Cuomo. America is more Tyler. America is more just a regular person that loves his country, right?
Right.
Okay. And then you come out and you say Russia, 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 Russia. When this guy was president, let me tell you what policies I like. I go policies. If you want to talk emotion, personality, you can hate that guy's personality. You can sit there and say, this guy knows the hell out of me. I know people that hate Obama. Hate Obama. Every Obama interview I've ever watched, whether it's with Leno, whether it's with whoever, I've never seen an interview where I didn't like hearing him speak. I would say, I'd love to watch a game with this guy. Doesn't mean I agree with his policies. So the emotions I pull out and I say, okay, let's look at policies.
Being a rational individual. You can like the way that he speaks and the way that he sounds and, some of the interviews, but when it comes to the policies, you just absolutely hate them. It's called being a rational individual. But that, along with common sense, has faded away from society. It's gone. I feel like there's not very many people that have that ability.
When this guy took office, he was the first guy that was not afraid of facing off China. First guy that said, you want to do this? Tariff. You want to do this? Tariff. You want to do this? Tariff. Look where we are today. These barrels that we were getting from China that was $2,500 a pop, now it's what? Containers. $40,000 a container. You think he will let them charge $40,000 today? Hell to the no. But Biden says what? End of message. End of message. What end of message? You're giving a speech on the guy that passed away. End of message. Trump stood up against China. Trump was willing to sit down with these guys, negotiate. Trump did Palestine and Israel. Like that's ridiculous to be able to do what he did 25 years. Economy was doing good for whites, blacks, Asians, Hispanics, women, everybody. But media hated this guy. Why? Because he called that bullshit. And that's his flaw. His fault was the following. If somebody as an advisor gives him a fault, it's the following. Charles Barkley said this the other day. Kevin Durant asked him, said, how come you're not on Twitter? He says, you know why I'm not on Twitter? He says, why? He says, because I'm old school. If I'm on Twitter and people talk shit to me, I feel like it's my responsibility to respond back. That's Barkley. Guess what? That's Trump.
Hey, that is, if you know Charles Barkley, Charles Barkley doesn't hold back, man. Hey, I love that. I love that. He don't hold back. But let me run that back just a little bit.
He says, you know why I'm not on Twitter? He says, why? He says, because I'm old school. If I'm on Twitter and people talk shit to me, I feel like it's my responsibility to respond back. That's Barkley. Guess what? That's Trump. Trump needs to avoid 99% of the shit people say to him, and you just focus on the 1%. He wanted to fight everybody, and he made his life a living hell. That's on him. But that's how he's wired. That comes with the territory. But to say the guy's a Russian asset, Matt, I mean, you can say you disagree with his policies. You can say, Stormy Daniels, McDougal. You can say grab him by this with the Bush story. You can say McCain, which was an absolute, to me, what the hell are you doing going after somebody, POW? This guy served the military. You don't have the right to call out another military person. How come all these generals you don't get along with? What happened with Mattis? I get Milley. I get some of these guys. But what happened with some of these other guys? Of course, all of that stuff, fully agree. I totally get it. But to sit there and just put it all blanket. Hillary Clinton just came out and said the following. She said, I don't know if you guys read this or not. Mm-hmm. Hillary Clinton warns 2024 presidential election could be the end of democracy. National Review. Hillary Clinton warned that former President Trump is poised to run for election 2024 and said that if he wins, American democracy will suffer irreparable damages. If I were a betting person right now, I'd say Trump's going to run again. I think that would be the end of our democracy. Not to be point about it, but I want people to understand that this could be a make it or break it point. If you are someone of his ilk were once again to be elected president, especially if he had a Congress that would be doing his bidding, you would not recognize our country. For many outside...
No, not the country that we have now. Of course not. And I'd argue it's a good thing. Because we wouldn't have politicians that would lie about things just to rile up folks. This country, I feel like, and I could be wrong, y'all let me know in the comment section, but I feel like this country has taken a turn for the worse. And it's not being run in the way that it was designed. We're pointing at, well, not we, but there are some people pointing at Supreme Court justices and saying, hey, yo, they shouldn't be doing that. Well, that was exactly what they were supposed to do if you know what their job is. But of course, the politicians you support will never tell you that because they want you to be enraged and out in the streets rioting and doing all of this when all they had to do was go back in their offices and get the job done because they have the ability to do so. But they would rather have you riled up out in the streets, angry at the world. All they had to do was go back into their offices and actually do their job. And all of this would have been done. Over with. Simple as that. Gone into the wind. But as always, like I said, you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comment section, please.
Observers, it looks as though Trump...
Also, I just thought about another thing. You see a lot of these politicians, especially I've noticed from the left, that love to fear-monger. Oh, if such and such gets elected, it's going to be the end of democracy. It's going to be the end of our days. Oh my goodness. And I saw there was another video that was I can't remember if I checked it out with you guys or if I just watched it on my own, but there was another video of a gentleman talking to some host on CNN, I believe it was. Maybe it was MSNBC. But they basically asked him, how are you going to get your voters out to vote? He was talking about Democratic voters. He was like, basically he said, we got to scare the living daylights out of them. We got to put fear in them. We got to let them know that they have to fight. What? Just said this on the news. They're telling you the playbook and people still buy it. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway.
Ilk were once again to be elected president, especially if he had a Congress that would be doing his bidding, you would not recognize our country. For many outside observers, it looks as though Trump is gearing up to launch a campaign for 2024.
Oh, of course he is.
90% chance this guy's running.
Of course he is. I heard about how much money he still has left over from donations. Oh my goodness. It's a ridiculous number. Of course he is. He just can't announce it officially. And I found this out not too long ago. It has something to do with the finances or something. Like he can't technically say, I'm running officially until next year. So I'm sure there's going to be, a Joe Rogan interview. Or, I'm going to try to speak this into existence, Doc Rich right here on the channel, official announcement. How huge would that be? Well, I mean, for me, it would be huge. But yeah, that would be crazy. Absolutely nuts. Would never happen. But, I'm going to try to speak it into existence. All right.
You know what I know. He's going to be running. But
I agree with what she said, by the way. I think it is. If he wins, it'll be the end of our democracy. We are not a functioning.
Yeah,
we're not. By the way, we're not a functioning democracy right now.
No, we're
People
not.
said if people
on
said
a
if
federal level,
We're not.
people said if Obama
we're
gets
on
elected, communism's here.
But we're not a functioning democracy anymore on a federal level. We're not.
Okay.
We absolutely are not.
Unpack that.
Okay, so how to begin? You have one political party again that is a cult of personality. Okay, they do whatever Donald Trump wants. There's no party platform anymore, right? There's just whatever Trump wants. And I know that you keep saying he's not a Russian.
Did he throw him a box of tissues on purpose? If he did that on purpose, that's hilarious. Like, cry me a river. Did y'all catch that?
Form anymore, right? There's just whatever Trump wants. And I know that you keep saying he's not a Russian asset, but why did the Republican Party change the platform at the Republican Party convention in 2016 when it came to Ukraine once he took the nomination? Why was it that was changed? Why did he try to pull us out of NATO? I'm sorry, you had everything the one thing that you never said to me that explained is his Russian policy.
After all the investigations, show one proof he's a Russian asset.
By the way, this is a former member of the CIA. This guy on that just got the tissue box.
I said instead of just making accusations, show the proof.
This
For example, if somebody
he's a former member of the CIA.
says Biden, daddy, the big guy, $10 million, there is proof.
Okay.
The New York Times story when it was blocked by Twitter.
Look at how much money he gets through Deutsche Bank. Who do you think funds Deutsche Bank?
What I'm trying to tell you is, show me after the last 3.5 years.
You think
what kind of investigation could they have done on him?
He's such a shitty businessman. He can't even get lended to by anybody else other than the one bank that the Russians specifically fund. I'm sorry. Like, come on.
Stop it. You're saying he's a shitty businessman.
Absolutely.
He's a shitty businessman.
He's a horribly shitty businessman.
You're losing credibility on that side. Buddy.
Really?
This guy's a bad businessman?
How many of his casinos went bankrupt? How many contractors did he never pay? He's losing his hotel in Washington, D.C. right now.
How do you think business works?
Really?
How do you think business works?
He had daddy's money. You know, they figured out that if he had taken the loan his father gave him in the 70s and he had simply just invested in an index fund, he'd be worth $25 billion today. That's how I know he's a shitty businessman. He couldn't even keep up with the market.
Yeah. So that just to me bleeds envy and frustration.
It's not
and
envy
anger.
and frustration.
You're upset.
No, he's a silver.
It's totally fine if you are upset with the guy.
No, what I'm upset is what he's done to my country.
What he did to your country in 4 years.
Yes. He poured jet fuel on a fire. You're the president of the United States. You're supposed to unite us.
Who's the last unifier we had in America?
That's a great question. I've been thinking that for a long time. I've been really trying to ask myself like who would be the last, and it probably is Reagan. You'd think like maybe because like we think about like when it's the last landslide election. 84.
I think Bill was able to get both sides to
Bill and Newt Gingrich, the contract with America.
Fantastic. You take Monica Lewinsky out. Take that out.
That's fair. Okay, maybe.
I say Bill and Reagan.
So you have a very concerning situation going on in this interview here. A former CIA official, so irrational, super irrational. I mean, just all over the place. And these are the type of folks that are in these high level positions in our country. That should not be allowed, in my humble opinion. Do y'all agree? Let me know in the comment section. But he was having to be talked down by Patrick, like a child. This stuff is crazy to me. Absolutely insane and very, very concerning. Very, very concerning. And as far as the Trump thing goes, you know, I'm not even going to touch on that. That's just, come on, really. But yeah, as far as him running, he's definitely running for sure. The question is anyone going to truly run against him? Like is DeSantis, who I believe has, if Trump didn't run, I feel like DeSantis definitely is running. But if Trump does officially announce, does DeSantis do the same thing? And how does that play out? Does DeSantis actually bash Trump? Which, no, watching DeSantis, I don't think he actually would. But even with that being said, would Trump try to bash DeSantis? You know, like it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out and works out in the end when the official announcement comes, which I'm assuming will be, you know, early next year, right here on the channel. Just throw in that nugget right there at the end, you know. But as always, Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this crazy conversation here in the comment section below. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Greatly helps the channel out with the YouTube algorithm. Really, really appreciate every single last one of you guys that always comes and hits the like button. I mean, I know it's a small thing, but it really does help out. And just leaving a comment, any comment, I don't care what it is, all right? It helps out with the YouTube algorithm as well. So thank you guys so much for continuing to do that for me. Greatly appreciate you guys. But anyway, peace and love.